edition of the program Agric today on ARS and Television, Abuja, Nigeria. I am Khadija Oluwatoyin. I told you weeks back that we'll be having a big fish on the program who is going to be a woman who has been breaking grounds when it comes to the world of agriculture, especially when it regards to biotechnology. She is the Director, Agricultural Biotechnology Department of NAFDA, in the person of Dr. Rose Kila. Welcome to the program, ma'am.
Thank you.
You know, it's been a while trying to get you to be on the program. At least I'll say it's been like a year, and then after we got a headway, and then we already told our viewers that we're going to be having you on the program. But yes, it didn't work. It's no more. Thank you for having us in your office.
Thank you, and thank you for coming.
We wanted to give us I would say I want it to be an open discussion. Yes, about how biotechnology came to be in Nigeria. So far, you've been a country coordinator for OFAP, and where we are today. And
I think in general, it all emanated from the Federal Ministry of Science, Technology, and Innovation. Way back in those days, during Obasanjo's time, around 2001. But the committee that came out with the policy on biotechnology, I think started work, they must have started work maybe 1998 or 99 before the president taking over also. So I think committees were set up to look into emerging areas, and biotechnology was considered as one of those areas. Because I remember NITDA, NASDA, the Space Agency, the Information, that's ICT award, they were all linked into, and biotechnology was one of those policies. So the policy, I think, came out in 2002. I think it was approved by FEC, that's Federal Executive Council. It was approved around April 2002, and I think in November, that led to an institutional framework, and that institutional framework is National Biotech Development Agency. So the agency was actually put into place following that approval of biotechnology policy. So it led to NAFDA.
Okay.
So NAFDA came into being, and it was saddled with so many responsibilities, you know, promoting, carrying out R&D, that's research and development in this area, promoting biotechnology, and then deploying and domestication of the technology and all those in the 4 different sectors of the economy. We have health, we have Agric on the topmost agenda, and then we have the environmental sector, and then we have food and industry. So 4 different areas, and these areas are actually very, very key. They're very important areas.
Okay, focused on agriculture today. We've seen you advocated on different fora as regards about technology, innovations as comes to food and seeds. I can vividly remember I covered so many forums where you spoke on Cowpea and the rest. How has it been so far?
Yeah, it's not been an easy route. While we had to intensify awareness in this area, because the use of biotechnology in agriculture is actually highly stigmatized. A lot of, what will I say, people don't like to hear that because it has to do with food. So they think that genetic modification process is hazardous. They give it names, awards, misconceptions, misinformation, misunderstanding of the working of the technology. So I think we had to give it a special treatment. We had to lay those highly spirited campaigns, to dull the noise of the anti-GM group and then of other people who don't really have access to information, and they join the crusaders of this technology because of lack of information. So, and everyone in this society has, needs to have access to free information, and what, because we are all ultimate consumers of this food. And it's possible, we've been consuming because Nigeria imports a lot. So, AATF, African Agricultural Technology Foundation, thought it wise, because this happened not just in Nigeria but other African countries as well, all over the world. There have been massive campaign against this technology, even though it's been very useful. And so they initiated the Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology in Kenya, and it works. So when they saw that it was working, then they now deployed, they sent to Nigeria and other African countries. I think we are about 10 or 11 countries running this program. And so when they brought it to Nigeria, they hosted it here in NAFDA because we have the mandate for biotechnology, of course. And that was how we started, 2009. And it actually helped a lot, especially with our Cowpea, our pot borer resistant beans, because the commercialization of that beans was not easy. It was a tough one. We had it very tough because it's an edible crop. For cotton, we've done two, cotton and the Cowpea. For the cotton, there wasn't much problem, but for the Cowpea, it was a big fight. And so we had to do a lot of, carry out a lot of sensitizations. We went to places, we went to states, at the local level, because when you are talking about adoption, it's everyone, farmers especially. Farmers need to know, we need to empower them with factual information, and then evidence-based, because this is evidence-based science. The farmers need to plant it. Seeing is believing. We carried out seeing is believing tours, awards, because the farmers had to be given these seeds to plant on their farm. So demonstration plots were actually established in many states, over 10 states, and they had to see, they had to experience it, and to confirm that yes, these seeds that we had given them, they are better than their own.
The normal
conventional ones. And so that confirmation had to be given, even for the varietal release to have even passed it. That was done. So demonstration plots were set up several, I think about 2 years or so, pre-commercialization and post-commercialization approval. So, and now the farmers are actually enjoying it, and everyone, you cannot plant that thing and not want to plant it again and again and again. One good thing is it produces a lot of pods, the yield is high. The yield is 2.9 tons per hectare, as against 350 kg of the conventional beans in Nigeria. So you can see about 300 folds, yes, yeah. So the Cowpea is not, and then it's early maturing. I'm happy you came. We will take you to the field. It's there, you will see it. So many pots and so many new ones. You harvest like 3-4 times. You're doing harvest, yes. I tell you. So this one that's on the field, we planted it is it just barely 2 months, 26th May, and I tell you it's already maturing, ready for pickup. But we still have new pods coming up. It's still flowering. Wow. So you can imagine how many times we're going to harvest this. Yeah, we keep harvesting. They would harvest the first trench this week because it's so rainy. The Cowpea does not actually like rain, too much rain. So we have to harvest the pods on time. As they mature, we pick them up. We don't leave them on the field so that rain will not destroy. So it's been quite rewarding, exciting, and everything. It's a mix anyway here. Sometimes when the antis come up with their misinformation or their tricky ways, it disturbs us, sends us back, but then I have grown that gene to pick up the pieces by pieces and then get back to, work again. Another interesting and exciting thing that we did was kitchen campaign, mobile kitchen campaign on the Cowpea. We did that in Lagos. We started in Lagos and then did one in Abuja, and then now we do it anytime we're having a function. And we tagged it, eating is believing, because we are at the point of adoption and then consumer usage. Because very soon, the farmers, as they harvest, of course, some of them will take them to the market and want, and this is consumer, so we have to also consider consumer acceptance, consumer use. And how do we do that? Of course, we have to start eating the beans ourselves to show the people that this thing is safe and wholesome, and there's no difference between it and the conventional beans. They're the same, because it's actually the conventional beans that the scientists used to develop, to incorporate that gene that will stop Maruca from destroying cowpea when you plant. So we did it severally in public places and what eating is believing. We made different delicacies, we made moi, kusi, and all those. That's akra, egg begiri, the words. I mean, there was nothing we didn't, and it's so sumptuous, delicious. And when you soak the beans will actually swell 3 times its original size. So it's a wonderful thing, and we are finding it like fun, exciting, yes, and what, and at least you're feeding people. Yeah.
Yes, and it's giving triple yields
yeah,
of oil also.
Yeah, of course.
But looking at the acceptance, is this being accepted at the rural area? Because these places are where we know that it's difficult for the government to inculcate some policies and innovations. If you go to some places, they'll tell you, if it's not the local beans, you have this one, you have that one, it has health hazards and the rest of it. What are the hazards there in this cowpea, and then how are farmers in the local areas accepting it?
Yeah, these hazards, they just perceived risk. It's perceived. It's not. It doesn't really happen. Okay. It's not hazardous at all. People are just making stories out of it, and maybe because they think this technology is coming to take over their own, and then maybe we take over their markets. So that's why these complaints are coming in. It's trade issues. It has no scientific. This is a scientific thing. There's no scientific basis, for saying all those things. And science is evidence-based. It's a collection of facts and all. And that is why, because of the safety issues that might come up, consumer safety and all those things, that is why we have an agency, National Biosafety Management Agency, that's saddled with the responsibility of ensuring that scientists work, within standards. The technology is highly regulated. It's the most regulated technology in the history of mankind. Scrutiny, a lot of scrutiny. It can take you 10, 14 years for you to come up with, because of the regulatory hurdles that you have to go through to ensure that safety is maintained. Safety is never compromised, never ever compromised. We don't do it. We have to work within standards because it's food, and we're doing our best, contributing our own bit to the economy, because at the end of the day, economic growth comes in. Yes, and then farmers' empowerment. Of course, the farmers have been enslaved into subsistence farming for a long time. They save their grains, they plant, and most of these seeds, they think they are seeds. They are not seeds. Most of them, after harvest, they save some. Those things are great. And those things, they don't have storage facilities, modern storage facilities for those things that they keep. So by the time they come, the planting season comes and they plant, viability do more, 50% maybe viability. And once viability is not there, you have no hope. It's a hopeless situation. And that's why most of them, before the next season comes, they're out of food. So this is not this kind of situation we want. And that's why we have decided that agriculture should be turned into business.
Yes, we heard it from the horse's mouth. Agriculture should be turned into a business. That's it. We're going to go on a quick break. On return, the program continues. Stay tuned. Cowpea we're talking about, and we've been with the Director of Agricultural Technology Department in the person of Dr. Rose Bidado, who has been taking us on what the improved seed of cowpea has been about. Thank you for joining us, madam. So we'd like to know what the acceptability, market acceptability has been like, and aside market, even the farmers. You see, some farmers would tell you, okay, we'll go and try this improved seedlings, but then they'll say, oh, their family should not eat it, or have doubt and the rest of it. Especially those farmers that are peasant farmers, those ones in the rural areas, not the educated, the big, I call them the big farmers. How has it been like?
Well, at the farmers level, it's very fun.
Okay.
Because it's like you have taken a problem off. So to them, it's a succor to them, and they're happy, they're excited. We've organized, interviews, farmers' days with them, and you can actually see their excitement. They say, once you mention Sampi, it's Sampi 20T. That's what it is called, the market name, the brand name, yes. When they hear that Sampi, everybody will just smile, you just agree. That beans that can work wonders, that beans that can multiply, and it matures early, and so it's climate smart. The seeds are resilient, because sometimes you could plant a seed and drought will set in, rain may not fall, and that's it. If it's a conventional seed, you've lost it. But if it's the GM seed, of course, when the rain falls, germination starts, and the germination is rated around 98%, 95, 98, something like that. So most GM seeds are resilient. So we can actually fight out the climate change that people are. This is the only technology that can actually address that climate change adequately, appropriately. And so, but for the market, the consumer market. It's because the real cultivation of it, the real commercialization just started. So I don't think it's in the general market. I don't know. I don't really think that's we can't talk about the market now, but maybe in 2 years' time, that's when, and we're expecting that there will be labels, yeah, because that's what the regulatory agency wants. That is what is in the Act of National Biosafety Management Agency, that it will be labeled, so that people will know, so that people can have choices and all. So that's it. So even though another question is, how do you expect a woman frying akara to level her akara? So I mean, there are other issues anyway. That's
I think as regards to labeling, it can just be in the market, knowing that okay, this particular, just like how we take our local cowpea, they'll tell you this one is Oloyin, this one is.
They will have They will give the names. They will have their names, of course. The farmers and the extension agents, they know their languages.
Yes.
They know the kind of name they are going to give to this, So we, that one, I think we leave it to them to complete. At least they have an improved cowpea basis that is improved, and it's empowering them, changing their lives, transforming their lives and all. Because the seeds go for maybe 2,000 per kg. It's cheap and it's open pollinated. You can replant if you want. Yeah, for sure. So there's so many advantages. You can replant. People say you can't replant GM and what. It depends on the parent of that seed that you have improved. If the seed you have improved, it's already a hybrid seed. A hybrid seed, of course, you can't replant, but if it's just an open pollinated seed, you can replant. Nothing stops you. It doesn't change anything. The gene you have incorporated is just to stop Maruca from causing its havoc. That's it. There's nothing else. And those regulatory things, they have food and feed safety evaluations and all those things. You have to really prove that because of the evaluations they carry out, you have to do it alongside with the conventional. Like when you analyze the nutrients that are in the improved variety, then you do that of the one that's not improved, the conventional one, and then you make comparison. This one has how many percent protein, this one has what. So there shouldn't be significant difference. If there's any significant difference, that project does not see the light of the day. You have to carry out all those food and feed safety evaluations, one by one, and make comparison. So anytime there's any variability, of course, that is significant, is questionable, and the project goes off. You have to start all over again. So that is it. The way drugs are produced, and those regulations are being progressively developed by WHO, by FAO, by OECD, and all. So it's not, and all those international regulatory agencies, of course, they've done their testing, they've done their safety analysis, they have actually confirmed safety, of course, and that there's no significant difference between a GM and a non-GM crop, except for the gene of insert. And that gene is just made to work on that farm. And as soon as the farm work is finished, it has any role again, and that's it.
Okay, quickly, going forward, we have less than 5 minutes to go. Is there any other crop we're looking forward to having a GM?
Yeah, there is, of course. You will also see it on the field. It's been planted. But that is teller maize. Okay. Yes, teller maize. Teller maize is both drought tolerant and insect resistant. And it has been deregulated by National Biosecurity Management Agency. When you say deregulation, it means that that gene of insert inside the telomeres has actually been certified to be safe. Do you understand? That it is safe. That it's now as any conventional crop. You can use it, and that's it. So it's been deregulated. The next point of call for us is the National Varietal Release Committee. You know, that, and once they give their approval, it means the telomeres has been accepted into the seed system of Nigeria. And so the next is for farmers, for demonstration plus on farmers, for adoption trials and all those things, and that's it. So we're expecting that by next year, that would have happened.
Thank you very much for coming on the program.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, we've heard it, and there's still more to come. We'll be coming back again to talk about the telomeres. But for now, the cowpea, the beauty cowpea is ready and is safe for both farming and eating. Of course, this is double yield, like we heard the doctor say. It's going to be a plus to the Nigerian economy as well. On this note, to wrap it up on the program today on ARC Television, Abuja, Nigeria, I am Khadija. Don't forget to like us, like our page on YouTube, and of course follow us, drop your comments in the inbox.